Hi, man.
What are you doing?
I'm drinking wine and eating cheese and catching some rays, you know.
Always good to start off a show with a bit of a giggle, because I'm pretty sure I'm feeling it. I'm picking up on this. I think a lot of us are struggling with all of the crap out there. But before we dive into this very important live stream tonight, I want someone to say, Jay, I didn't even have to say it. My God, dude, thank you for that. And Kane as well, up there in Liverpool. Awesome. So good. You can see and hear me all right. Hopefully the signal is not going to glitch out, but we've been having problems in the past before. So, yes. I think that's what we need to do more. Just actually stop and take a breath. There is literally so much going on out there. Now, what we have to try and remember is whatever we search for, whether it's, I know for a fact Google does it. I don't use Google only to do these things on my computer, but on my phone, I don't use Chrome at all. But whatever browser that you're using, I'm not sure if someone's technically savvily minded out there. Could you let us all know? But I know that Google does. So when you search things on Google, the results you get are literally tailored just for you. What I feel it should be is the Google search engine should be the same for everyone using it on the planet, but it's not. Okay. We can all type in one question or one search, and 1,000 people would type in the same thing all around the world. And guess what? Everyone will get a different set of results. Yeah, that's how crazy it is. So hold that in your thought. Okay. So what you search for, it gets tailored to you. Machine learning, if you will. And now we've got a sprinkling of artificial idiot on it as well. Excuse me. So, social media. So whatever floats your boat, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, other groups, I would imagine. I don't know, like WhatsApp and Telegram, etc. I'm not really sure, but the actual social media platforms. Now, whatever you spend time looking at. Now, before I dive into this quick, if anyone has Netflix, I don't, but I know people who do. If you have Netflix, I absolutely encourage you to watch a program on there called The Social Dilemma. Yeah, some of my regulars will remember me saying this quite a few times now, but I've had 5,500 subs in the last couple of weeks. So some of you guys new probably don't know. So The Social Dilemma, it broke on Netflix a year or two ago now, and it's absolutely mind-boggling. If you haven't seen it, find someone who's got Netflix and go around there and watch it. I kid you not, guys. If you watch that, your outlook and your understanding of how social media works will be seriously expanded. Okay. When I saw that, I had a feeling, yeah, it does that. But when you watch that program, it's only 2 hours long. It's a real deep dive into social media and how it works, the people who designed it, the certain things in there, the infinite scroll, etc. It's unbelievable. So when you understand that process, and everything you search for on social media feeds you. Okay. So even if you're scrolling and you look at one post for 1 second, so stop, go along, that's all counted. It's logged. It's learning you. If you watch a short, or what is it called on Instagram? A reel, I think it is. I don't go on it no more. So the Instagram reels, you go through it, and if you watched it in its entirety, up to a few minutes, then you're basically telling machine learning with AI, this is the sort of stuff you're interested in. So obviously, the more things that you look for, whether it's truth stuff, whether it's the breaking news stuff, whether it's the illegal people over here, whether it's free AI Atlas, whatever it's called, whether it's the hurricane in Jamaica, or everything in between. Okay, robots, AI, the digital ID, all of this stuff. If you're constantly searching that, it's going to be overwhelming. Now, this is my opinion, and we all have the right to express our opinions. Listen, you don't have to agree with everything I say, okay? I mean, can you imagine a world if everyone agreed with everything everyone thought and said? Be a bit weird, wouldn't it? You know, I think it's refreshing to have disagreements and debates, because through those processes, I think some of us learn even more, which at the end of the day, I believe that's what it's all about. So what I'm getting at is the stuff that we are being exposed to. And let's be honest, social media is addictive. If you think you're not addicted to social media, think again, okay? Incidentally, just as a little reminder, I think it's the 11th of November. Most people on the same wavelength as us will be not using their phones or anything digital, especially transactions, for a whole 24 hours, okay? We need to get that message out, because if that makes a change or a noticeable difference to the evil people running this show, good, because that needs to happen. So yeah, if you think you're not addicted, turn your phone off for 24 hours. Don't even turn it on or look at it. When you go out, leave the phone at home. If you are addicted to your phone and social media, you will take it with you. Whether we like it or not, whether you feel frigging hurt by that, tough. It's the truth. And the truth does hurt sometimes. And the truth is, I would say most people in this day and age are addicted to social media, or without that, even their phones. Okay, so all of this stuff that we're absorbing, we're watching this content, we're feeling it, we get triggered, we get upset, we get angry. Okay, as human beings, in my opinion, we are not designed to absorb this rate of information. We're just not. Okay, we are just not. We, in my opinion, and like I say, I could be wrong, I don't care, but this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, and it's fine if you disagree. You know, we are spiritual beings living an experience in this holographic reality. Now, not everyone's going to agree with that. That's fine. So basically, the five senses that we're used to being in touch with, like the Matrix said, they're just signals interpreted by your brain. Now, I know this is getting a little bit deep for some people, but hang in there, because it's all going to make sense, okay? Just imagine yourself stood up and a globe, a ball, a sphere around you. So right from your heart in the middle of your body, going out in all directions for 2 meters, okay? Now, this is weird, because remember what happened in 2020? Social distancing. Everyone had to be 2 meters away. There's a good reason for that, in my opinion, that we have this thing called an etheric field, okay? And in that invisible globe, in that ball, in that sphere, is our own reality. We don't store memories in our brains. We don't. This is like a dome, like an antenna, like you see on warships, okay? That goes over the top of the radar that goes around. Just think of your head and your brain as that, okay? So all that is it's an instrument to send and receive information to your field that's around you, okay? So all of your thoughts, all of your memories, all of your fears, woes, happy, whatever it is, it's all stored in that field around you at all times, okay? So what we think, what we feel, we create. Okay, so just imagine that. If everyone in their own little fields, their own little spheres, if everyone's absorbing all of this information, and we're getting pissed off, we're getting angry, we're getting scared, we're getting frightened, basically being programmed on a lower vibrational state to exist in that fear, literally a fear bubble. Okay, now I know this goes way beyond your bog standard prepping community stuff. Okay, we're not going to be sitting here talking about how long baked beans last on the shelf. Okay, this is an aware prepping community. To my knowledge, it's the only one in the UK. Excuse me. So in this community, yes, prepping plays a big part of our physical 3D BS reality. Okay, we still have to pay bills unless you want to live in the streets, etc. And you know, at some point You know, your experience could come to an abrupt end. So it is about survival. And I know survival is part of the R complex right in the middle of your brain. It's the fight or flight part of your brain. Now, there is only one animal, if that's the right term, on the whole planet that has that same thing in their brains as we have. It's called the R complex. And ever guess what animal that is? It's a reptile. Yeah. So every single living thing on the planet that's not a reptile hasn't got this thing in it. We have, and so do reptiles, snakes, lizards, etc. All right. So that part of the brain gives us the heads up to survive. Okay. Someone holds you underwater, you're going to fight to get up and get air, no matter what. It's instinctual. You don't even have to try. You will just do it. Okay. When you feel that your life, your experience is being threatened, you are going to react to survive. Whether you want to agree with it, whether you're a frigging monk, whether you're a cage fighter or what, that is what you are going to do. That's what we are all programmed to do, the R complex. If you don't believe me, check it out. It exists. Okay. So the weird thing is, what we have to ask ourselves is, are you awake or are you sleeping in the matrix? Think about it. We've all seen, well, I hope we have seen the film The Matrix. Okay. That's pretty much what we've got going on. For real. It's very, very bizarre. I know it is, because that is all part of the predictive programming that we have been fed since birth, pretty much. Okay. Via films, TV programs, etc. We are literally filling up our bubble, our invisible bubble, with all of these feelings and emotions. Do you know what? When I had Mark here the other day, who sat there on the last live stream, you know, I was saying to him, said, you know what? There's films, DVDs and stuff that I used to watch, which I can't watch now. Now I've become a dad, you know, a few years back. I just can't watch them. Anything with extreme violence, anything that glorifies violence, you know, I feel in my being that it's wrong. And I don't like feeling those feelings when I'm watching certain things. Okay. You know, we all used to watch things like Saw, you know, the Jigsaw character, the horror films, and some of the violence in computer games as well. I steer away from it because I'm in tune to me, and I know deep in my heart that that feels wrong and it feels bad. But nonetheless, these are the sorts of films which, I don't know, it feels like about 70% of all movies ever made have at least some bad violence in it. And it's a good reason why they do this. They want people to be so dumbed down and so unaffected by extreme violence that when it happens, and it will, unfortunately, they're not going to be so freaked out by it because they've seen it on films, they've played it in computer games. But the thing is, when it happens in front of you for real life, whoa, yeah, it's crazy. Or predictive programming. So what I'm trying to say in a long-winded way, sorry about that, is, like I said, we are not geared up to receive all of this information. We are just not. Cast your mind back a few hundred years, especially in the UK. You know, there were tiny little hamlets of anything from 10 to maybe 100 people scattered all over the country, living in forests, living by the beach or whatever it is. Okay. And that's all that little community knew. Okay. Then you had horses, people using that. People used to go to and from other little communities, and all they would know is what's coming out of their community. That's it. But what have you got now? We've got a little device. And yes, I always put blue tack on my screen, even though I've shut everything off as much as I can. I don't trust this bloody thing. Absolutely don't trust it at all. So we can get access to any information 24/7 anywhere on the planet, pretty much. Okay. And as human beings, we are not designed to be overwhelmed with this information. So, you know, when you go back to the time before the internet and when it was starting to come out and be a bit of a thing, oh, it'd be great. Everyone would be connected. You know, everything would be easier. Then what's happened since the internet? People's lives have got more stressful. That's why, you know, when, like again, when I said earlier, when me and Mark was here, we done that live stream about the good old days, because sometimes, you know, and it's absolutely fine to do this. If anyone is going to say to you that you're just burying your head in the sand, you have got my permission to thump them straight on the chin as hard as you can. Okay? Because at the end of the day, who the hell can anyone say to anyone else that without knowing what that person is going through? We are talking mental health is through the roof, completely through the roof. And if you wanted to go to get some counselling locally, maybe, guess what? Expect a minimum of 1 year to wait. That's how bad it is. Okay. It's not only that, if you look at private counsellors, that business idea, whatever it is going through the roof as well. Okay. In fact, if you want to start up a business as a counsellor, you're going to be absolutely quids in, because at some point people are going to need help because they are struggling. Of course we're struggling. Why wouldn't you struggle when we are absorbing all of this information? Now, it's hard. It's really hard for us preppers, because I feel, speaking from my own experience, I don't speak for everyone. I just can't. I just speak from my experience, and that's it. And everyone's got their own thoughts in this, and it's okay. You ain't got to agree with everything I say, okay? But part of the prepping ethos is to have one eye out there of what's going on. How can you possibly prepare for anything without knowing anything of what's happening or what could be about to happen? You just couldn't. You know, you go up to someone and say, might be a good idea to have 3 to 6 months worth of food in your house for your family. We'll go, why? I said, well, can't you see the way it's going? You must know that if you was to buy food 6 months from now, it's going to be more expensive than what it is now. To me, it's just common sense, okay? Because I believe that we are not going to see food prices pre-2019 prices. We are just not, okay? And especially with all of the money that's being borrowed from governments, from central banks, it's all going to be paid back on interest. Everything is going to get even more expensive than what it already is. And I have a weird feeling that people's wages aren't going to reflect that change either. So what happens then? Well, people have to tighten their belts. People have to change their shopping habits. Okay. People have to change their driving habits. Everything. Because when the money gets leaner, your shopping bill needs to reflect that too. Because if you're only getting a certain amount of money and you're spending it on things that you used to spend on when everything wasn't too bad, i.e. before 2020, at some point you're going to come unstuck. So it makes sense to change things. Okay. Save money wherever you can. Okay. Change energy plans. You know, invest in solar so you don't have to pay them robbing gits anymore. Okay. Maybe stop smoking. Maybe stop drinking. Maybe stop freaking covering your body in poisonous ink tattoos, costing you a fortune. Okay. All of these things are proactive, good things to save money, because the more money that you can save, the less in debt you're going to be, the less stressed you're going to be. And stress is like the center of all of this discussion we're talking about right now. Okay. So isn't it weird? And it's very, very strange that what's happening in Jamaica right now, as we speak live, this is the 28th of October, and it's nearly 8 o'clock at night here in the UK. Jamaica is currently being absolutely battered by a hurricane, which is moving 5 miles an hour. That's quite rare. Hurricanes are usually faster. In fact, this particular hurricane, it changed from a 2 to 5 category in super fast time. Now, apparently, according to the data coming in, that's never happened before. So, as an aware prepping community, all right, we think outside the box to give ourselves the edge. So what are we thinking of when we hear about things like that coming out over the news networks? The first thing that popped into my mind was HAARP, HAARP, 100%. Changed my mind. So absolutely, in my opinion, HARP literally heated up that part of the ocean, bounced off the ionosphere, which is what it does, because that storm cell grew at such a rate, it is not natural. 100%, and it could probably be proven too. So all of you people who frigging, no, prove it, prove it, show me the links, whatever. Do your own research and dig, and then you'll probably find out, oh my God, look at that. This is the first time it's happened. Yeah, it probably has. Because let me tell you this, that hurricane that's smashing the crap out of Jamaica right now is 100% not man-made. That's been manipulated, like most of the weather going on around the globe. Okay, so ask yourself this. Only recently, Jamaica signed up to the 2030 plan of their island being sustainable. So what are we talking about? SDGs, again from the UN, Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, I would guess that in 12 to 48 hours from right now, most of Jamaica will be absolutely flattened. Now, would you think that they could possibly rebuild that? Maybe smart cities, a smart island with digital control, a digital Jamaica. Can you believe it? You know, the people native to that island have been there for a long, long time now. Yeah, it's a hardship. There's a lot of poverty in there. Okay. And yeah, there's splashes of wealth because of the climate, I suspect. So how are they going to get these people to fall into line with all of this digital surveillance, tracking cameras and all of that nonsense? Okay, I absolutely think that's part of the plan. That's just one example of the stuff which is filling our minds at the moment. The other one is that free AI atlas, I think it's called. Is it free AI? Or I'll keep saying AI because artificial idiot is everywhere. So forgive me if I've got that wrong. But that free AI atlas, there's so much weird conjecture about that object. Okay, now the strange thing is most information which we are being led to believe, which is outside of the Van Allen belt of this planet, whether you think it's round, flat, I don't give a shit. Okay, it's not what we're talking about here. Everyone's got the right to believe what they want, so don't try and push your opinion on everyone else saying the earth is flat. Don't be silly, it's round. That's the sort of stuff you do in playgrounds. Now, I'd like to think we're adults, we're grown up, we're mature enough to have serious debates. So we are talking about this thing out there, and the only official, or one of the only official places you can get information about that, which happens to be all BS anyway, is from NASA. And we know what NASA means. Never a straight answer. That's what NASA actually stands for. Never a straight answer. So isn't it weird that the American government literally just closed just at that time that this thing was coming nearer to this planet or disk, however you want to friggin' feel it, I don't care. Right. So isn't it weird? A bit of a coincidence. Okay. So there's so much talk about this. Is it a big alien spacecraft? Has it got little tiny ships following around it? Well, the thing is, NASA isn't the only company on the planet that has telescopes and stuff like that and satellites. Okay, there's many others. In fact, when I worked in the space industry for the European Space Agency some years ago, there was 2 satellites which were being launched in and around the time I was there, and that was SOHO and Stereo. If you don't know what they are, they're 2 satellites which literally just go around the sun. That's all they do. Okay, so you're telling me that those satellites aren't getting any data from this object, which apparently is currently hiding behind the sun. Oh, so NASA conveniently blames the government because of the shutdown, that it can't share information. Let me tell you this, all it's doing is it's stoking this coal fire off everyone's imagination. Because do you think about it? Do you keep an eye on it? Do you know anyone who's looking at it all the time? Because it seems to be everywhere. It's blown up on my feed and I'm not even that interested, but it's everywhere. Okay, you can't seem to escape it. So yeah, apparently it's going to be visible from Earth, I think the 19th of December. So starting in a few days' time, it's going to do something. I can't remember. I don't really mind, to be fair. You've all got your own opinions and your own views in it, and that's fine. Okay, I'm not telling you what to think or how to think. You can believe whatever you want. To me, it's just another one of those things which is a psyop designed to keep us all scared, etc. Okay, so basically, I think we're fully aware that we're all feeling a little bit tired, etc. So I done a poll earlier, and I put on there just simple question: does all the news get a bit much sometimes? Right, and it's 140. It's going up all the time. 146 votes. 83% of you guys watching right now say that yes, the news does get a bit much sometimes. Okay, and that's the sort of figure I was probably expecting, to be fair, because I'm not Superman. I'm not the biggest prepper in UK. I'm just a guy who happens to think in a certain way. Maybe it's ADHD. I don't know. It's just the way I think. It's just common sense to me. It just makes sense to plan before anything. If I was to go on the holiday for a weekend and it's self catering, of course I'm going to write a list. Of course I'm going to do it before. Of course I'm going to spend time finding it all, packing it in the best way that I can before I go. That's basically what prepping is. You see something, you establish what you need, whether it's skills, whether it's kit and equipment, whatever it is, and then you get it done, and then it's all somewhere where and then you can action your movement towards whatever you've got to do. So basically, that's what a prepper does. It's the easiest way. I think it's just a buzzword that someone come out with. But I said this before, and my mate in Texas, Jason of Archaics, he actually said to me, he said that we are not here to save the world. Okay, it's not our jobs. Okay, now how I would elaborate on that, and I've made some notes because I could easily just get sidetracked like Chase does actually. Excuse me. Listen, if you are aware, if you're awakening, you're awake, whatever it is, I feel, now this is my opinion, okay, I could be wrong. I feel that we should all do our bit to raise awareness to all of the crap that's going on, okay? Because what sort of society would we be in if everyone was so selfish and we didn't give a toss about anyone else? I think it's our responsibility in the human race to look at it as our human family. Now, of course, we've been skillfully manipulated for thousands of years through color, through job, through class, whatever it is, through shape, size, appearance. We're all put in these little boxes, all by design, to keep us arguing against each other. Oh, the liberals versus the freaking conservatives. Okay. What about the black versus the white people? Okay. What about the rich people versus the poor people? It's just so much division there. I mean, can you imagine being an alien coming to the planet Earth and just seeing how screwed up we all are? And we've been living together for thousands of years and we still can't live together peacefully. Wow. Now, there's a good reason for that, is because generally, in my opinion, most people on the planet are good people. The problem I've got is with 5%, which are the true evil psychopath bastards, really, if you want to coin a phrase. And most of them are in positions of power, jobs, politics, whatever. Okay. And when those sort of evil people get a foot up the ladder and get up there, all they're interested in is power and wealth, greed, if you will. That's what they're interested in. Now, the definition of a psychopath, basically, if you want to boil it where the piss, is someone with no empathy. Okay, like I said, and it's a horrible term, but it's the most shocking I can say. If there's a baby lying on the road and a car just drove straight over it and a psychopath saw it, it wouldn't feel anything. Where most of us would be absolutely traumatized, horrified, throwing up, crying, whatever it is. Okay, that, in my definition, is a genuine human being. The humans that haven't got that empathy are psychopaths. Now, you can really elaborate if you want, whether they're lizard people or whatever it is. It's up to you. You can believe whatever you want, right? So in my opinion, it's up to us to raise awareness to our fellow human beings. Okay. Now, before you start saying, yeah, I know I've tried, I've banged my head against the wall, I'm frustrated, they're just so thick, they won't listen, are they stupid? Now, listen here, this is a sobering thing which I think we all need to swallow on, right? Listen to this. At some point, we was all asleep. Yeah. When you was born, was you aware from the birth right up to now? Or was you that guy who went to football matches to spend all your money on clothes, going down a pub, gambling, or whatever it is? Okay. Not many aware people would do something like that, in my opinion. And like I say, everyone's got the right to their own opinion. Okay. So when you start waking up to the bullshit, you know, watching TV, I don't do that no more. Okay. I don't gamble anymore. I don't watch sports at all. Stopped all that years ago. I hardly watch any movies. And if I do, they're ones that were made before the year 2012 or something like that. All these new films, just nah. In fact, elaborating on that just quickly, Netflix, from what I've seen, is dark as hell. If you watch Netflix, have a serious think about just packing it in, okay? Most of the things on Netflix that I've seen, which I recommend and all the rest of it, are absolutely dark, sinister, horrific, okay? Murder, death, glamorizing violence, okay? It's not good. It's not good. They're trying to take us away from our true heart space into a dark, low vibrational frequency, which is going to help the psychopaths more than it's going to help our beautiful human family, okay? And it is beautiful. Whatever skin color you are, whatever body shape you are, what your hair is, doesn't matter. We're all individuals, and we should absolutely celebrate this. In fact, what I might do is make a t-shirt. Incidentally, I've got merch underneath if you want to check it out. You were born an original, don't die a copy. Really think about that, okay? If you want to follow the sheep and everyone else, okay, you're a copy. You want to be you. You want to be so different than everyone else. You don't need to wear the fashion clothes. If you're a girl, you don't need to spray yourself orange, inject shit into your lips. You really don't. And if you're a bloke, you don't need to spray yourself orange and go down to the gym and pump yourself full of steroids. You don't need to, okay? Those are people who aren't awakened yet. I would find it very hard to believe that anyone who considers himself awake taking part in that bullshit. But again, it's just my opinion, and I'm allowed to say it, and you're allowed to disagree. That's cool. That's all right. I think we should all start speaking our truth rather than just talking bullshit. My mate Eric Hecker, who I've had on this show before, he said what interests him, and he's got a YouTube channel called Deciphering My Experience. Really cool. And what he's interested in is everyone's 20%. Okay, so basically what he means by that is every one of us has a 20% of us inside us which we don't talk about. We're afraid to talk about. And the reason we're afraid to talk about those things is because we've been conditioned not to. The 80% is all of the crap. Okay. Oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a solicitor. Or, you know, oh, did you watch the telly last night? You know, that sort of crap, right? That's the 80% of small talk bullshit, which is surface level humans. It's very boring. It's not very revealing. It's not being authentic. Okay. The 20% is all of the deep stuff that we want to talk about, where we're too scared to. Okay. It's really important to find someone you gravitate towards and talk about the 20% stuff. The stuff that makes you happy, the stuff that makes you scared. Okay. You know, you saw a UFO, but you don't want to tell anyone. You know, you might have saw a ghost or whatever it is. Okay. There's so much stuff going on in this existence. Who the hell is anyone to tell anyone else what is bullshit or what is not? Okay, that person over there who experienced a UFO, who genuinely experienced one, who the hell is anyone to say, oh, you're full of shit? How do you possibly know? You weren't even there. But that happens all the time. Okay, so the 20% is the good stuff. The 80% is just bollocks. All right, when you boil away the piss, if you're lucky enough to live for 90 years in this weird existence, do you really want to fill it up with talking bollocks? or do you want to explore, deep dive, to try and get a true grasp of all things that feel, yes, feel important? In my experience, I think it's absolutely should be bona fide the top decision to talk about the stuff that no one wants to talk about. Okay, so like I said, do your bit to raise awareness. But the weird thing is, right now, like I said, this is just my opinion. I'm not telling anyone not to do. This is what I do, and I want you guys to let me know if you think along the same sort of lines. Let me just bring the chat down. So you're doing your bit for the global family, the human family. Okay, you're putting a post on Facebook. Maybe you're speaking to a few people at work. Okay, maybe you put a little sticker on a street lamppost or whatever it is. Anything to raise awareness about basically the corruption of government, or how bullshit money actually is, or the cost of living crisis, or the stuff with the migrant, or whatever it is. Okay, raise awareness, talk to people, as many people as you can. But this is what I want you to listen to. This is important right now. Okay, it's good to do that. Okay, it's good to help the human family. But what I want you to do is to really try and hone in on your heart, your intuition, your gut feeling. Okay, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're doom scrolling, whether you're trying to wake the world up, or wherever it is, I want you to listen to yourself. If it starts to make you feel bad, whether it makes you tired, pissed off, upset, triggered, as soon as you start to feel any of those bad emotions to what you're doing, I want you to try this. Stop, whatever it is. So you're on your phone, right? You sat there in the front room, you just had tea, you got your feet up, the dog's next to you on the bed, and you're doom scrolling. And like I said before, all of your feed is basically the stuff that you're spending most time looking at. Okay, so if you're looking at your phone and all you do is you spend lots of time looking at football videos or football players, that's what you're going to be fed. If you're looking to find out the truth, or to find out what's going on so you can best be prepared, the chances are you're going to be like this, exposing yourself to so much negative, bad, doom and gloom. Everything seems impossible and hard. How can we possibly win this war against the evil bastards up top? It's going to get you down. Okay, so when you start to feel that, I want you to do this. Just go, nah, that's enough. Turn the screen off, put it away. Just do it. I think we all do it. Well, I know I do. Let me know what you think in the comments. Sometimes I'll say out loud, I'll just say, that's enough of that. And I'll just chuck it on the bed or on the sofa. And I just remove myself away from the phone, because I'm trying to be more in tune to how whatever I'm looking at is making me feel. But it's all well and good knowing that. The most important thing is to act on it. Okay. All of these words don't mean jack shit. You have to back them up with actions. Totally. 100%. You have to back up your words, what you say, with actions. Do something about it. 100%. So when you've decided to stop scrolling your phone because it's doing your head in, put it away, turn the screen off, right? Then I want you to think about what you like. Okay, what makes you happy? Okay, so what we're doing is we're learning to press our button. And listen, we've all got this button. We've all got this button. We can literally change how we think in a second, just like that. Every one of us has got that power. And some people might say, oh, I can't do that. You can. We can all do it. Okay. It just requires practice. But once you've realized that you can do it, never forget it, that you've got that switch. We've all got these flip switches. Okay. So we're exposed to bad stuff. What do? Flip it to good stuff. So when you're feeling a bit stressed out with all of the crap, and let's face it, there's so much crap out there, whether it's on the radio in the car, you're in a taxi, or whatever it is, whether you're in a cafe or a pub and there's a TV screen on showing the frigging news. Whether you come home from work and the radio's on, you know, the wife's got the TV on watching the news, and you think, for God's sake, I've had it up to here with all of this shit. Like I said in the video the other day on the live stream, okay, try and get yourself into a mindset that you can't control stuff outside of your circle. So what do I mean by that exactly? Your circle. I would like to think that all of us have got our circle, okay? Whether it's our parents, brothers or sisters, close friends, partners, obviously, within that. So if you haven't got any of that, or physical, you probably are going to have some online, okay? No one's going to be really alone out there, okay? Because if they're watching this, you're not alone because you're in an awesome community. Everyone who's in this live stream is subscribed and they've got their notifications turned on. That's why they're here. Because if you haven't subscribed and you're not notified, you're not going to be getting a heads up when the notifications get sent out when I do these live streams, okay? So I've built an awesome community here and I feel really, really proud to be part of it because you guys out there are incredible. What you bring to the table, what you talk about, what you share, it's really, really good. And I can only see this community growing, right? So you got to literally realize that the only things that you can control is in your circle. Like I said, all of the things outside of your circle, global politics, even local politics, national politics, you can't control any of it. You can't. How many times have we seen protests? And how much change have we seen on the back of them protests? Friggin' zero. How many riots have we had? And how much did that change? Friggin' zero. How many times have people voted and it's made a difference? Friggin' zero. So what you have to try and realize is this whole political system that's been put in place is not for our benefit at all. It's to give us the illusion of democracy where we have a say. We should be keeping a very, very beady eye on the government and they should be shitting themselves, worried that they're going to trip up. But it feels like it's been flipped. We're all worried and they're laughing their bollocks off doing whatever they want. It's wrong. It's the wrong way round. Okay. So you can't control any of that. Okay. But you can control your circle or who stays in your circle or who doesn't come into your circle. What I'm talking about is like Meet the Fockers, the circle of trust. Okay. Only people are allowed in your close circle or someone you can really trust. As an example, if you was to phone someone up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you really need help, would they literally get out of bed as fast as they can, get dressed and drive straight to your house? That is someone you can trust. How many people do you know online? How many people do you actually know? How many people do you know would actually do that? Has anyone tried it? Let us know in the chat or the comment section. Because it's only until you face situations like this, then you know who your real friends are. Okay? Yeah, I know. And because of our following, everyone wants to be my friend, but I don't know hardly anyone out there, only by what I see in a little text message on the screen. And how do you really know what that person's like? I know 90% of you guys are amazing, but there's going to be 10% who are friggin' assholes out there who are really manipulative, got a lot of problems, and I'm aware of it, okay? So what I'm trying to say is you can control, to some extent, your circle. You got no say of what goes on there. So why pour your energy into something that you've got no control over? Like I said at the start, we're not here to save the world, but we are here to spread awareness, but not at the detriment of our own mental health. That's key. Okay, if you are feeling, you know, I would like to think that everyone watching now has done their bit, has done at least something, even if it's just shared one YouTube video about what they believe is fact and what's going on and it's going to affect us in a negative way. I would like to think that everyone watching right now has done at least one share of one video somewhere to do their bit to help the human family. I believe that's our job. Okay, I really, really do. But like I said, if it starts to make us feel bad, just stop it. Okay, Just think, do you know what? I've done my bit. I'm having a rest now. Why? Because I'm actually giving a shit about me. And I want all of you lot to do the same. I want all of you lot to give a shit about you. Not your husband, not your wife, not your girlfriend. Put yourself first. Because let me tell you this, if you're not going to be up there mentally and you've got responsibilities like family, friends, etc., you're not going to be doing the best that you can for your inner circle. Okay. And what's going to happen is your inner circle is going to probably be quite toxic because you've absorbed all of this information into your circle. You don't know how to get it out and it's stuck in there. And all you're doing is pissing everyone off in your circle. So you have to be aware that you need to step away from it. Okay. No one's going to ever go at you and say, oh my God, you're putting your head in the sand. You're not. You're just having a break. And you know what? We're human beings. We need breaks. Okay. We need sleep every single day. We're not robots. Okay. We need sleep, good sleep, and we need rest. Okay. And we need to really think of ourselves. And we shouldn't be too hard on ourselves. Okay. Please don't feel that you're not good enough. You are. 100% you are. We all are. We have earned our right to breathe this air and this experience. Okay. And we all do our little bit, no matter what it is. Okay. So, like I said, you're absorbing negative stuff, flick your switch, positive stuff, good stuff. Okay. So you got to do what's best for you because everyone's different. All right. Everyone will gravitate towards the things that they like to do for them. Okay. So whatever it is, have a nice long bath. And I'm not just on about jump in the shower for 5 minutes. Have a proper lay down for an hour in the bath, whatever it is. Candle, turn the lights off, put some music on your phone if you want to. Whatever it is, chill. Okay. No one is going to be functioning as they probably should do if they don't give themselves a chance, don't give themselves respect and the love that they deserve, and frigging rest. So have a bath, put some music on that you like. Do you know what? I was struggling a while ago, and one thing that really helped me was music. Now what happened to me was, it's almost like I forgot all about music. Well, for most of my life I love music. So it's been a few years and I'm thinking, bloody hell, do you know what? It's been ages since I've listened to some tunes. Now, Bluetooth speaker, some music, make some playlists, whatever it is, stick it on. Oh my God, it's great. Personally, I like putting music on when I'm doing the washing up or I'm doing the housework or whatever it is. It's bearable for me. It makes it better for me. I can literally do the hoovering with a smile on my face rather than going, this is just a crappy chore. It makes me happy. I love music that I like. And whatever music that you're into, you bloody give yourself some freaking music that cheer you up. I'm not joking. Go for a walk, whatever it is. Even earlier on, I've been in a house for like 24 hours, but bloody hell, I need to get outside. I didn't even much think about it. Just put a coat on, went straight out, didn't care, went out for a nice long walk for only about 10 minutes. But just to get yourself out of the house, you know, the sky blue sky, the sun was out, it's cold and windy, but no, it doesn't matter. Just get outside. It just removes you from all of that. And leave the frigging phone indoors. You don't need to take it with you. Believe it or not, there was a time before phones came out, mobile phones, that you didn't need to take one with you, did you? Do you remember? Yeah. And if something really bad happened, the news would get to you somehow. Maybe a neighbor or a friend would knock on your door or whatever it is, or phone you up when you've gone back from your walk, and then whatever it is. But you don't need to take the phone everywhere with you. In fact, the closer you are to your phone, the more problems you're going to get up there, which is going to make this problem even more worse. So don't be scared to leave the phone indoors and go out for a 10-minute walk. If you haven't done it before, try it. And you know what? Do you know what occurred to me? I went down the nearest town about 20 miles away, not that long ago. And I was about 2 miles into my journey and I thought, oh my God, I've left my phone at home. And I thought, do you know what? Screw it. And do you know what I said to myself? I actually said it out loud in my car. I said, bloody hell, I'm not being tracked. I'm not being tracked. My phone's at home. There's nothing in this vehicle that can link or track me to anything. And I'll tell you what, it was bizarre. It was bizarre, sir. It was, because it felt like I was in the 90s again, driving my car, and no one knew what I was doing. I had cash in my pocket, no phone. I could do what I want. No one knew what I was doing. And it's such a sobering thought. It really is. And I'll tell you what, if you're struggling, people, try it. Purposefully leave your phone at home and go down to town for a couple of hours or whatever it is, get some shopping. And you think, bloody hell. And the strange thing is, every now and again, you might be going, do you know what? I'll take a photograph of it. Oh, I can't. My phone's at home. And you think, hold on. We're rewiring our brains to how we used to be before this internet assault that's been groomed on us all. And I'll tell you what, it's a sobering experience, people, to walk around free without being monitored or tracked. It's great. It really, really helps. So yeah, go for a walk. Absolutely. Watch films that you like, happy films. Yeah, so don't go putting on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Put on something nice, something funny like Airplane, the movie, or The Naked Gun, or you can see the stuff I'm listening to, or Stir Crazy. You know, those old films that make you laugh. Okay, whatever it takes. Even a stand-up comedian, watch it on YouTube or something. Whatever it is. Okay. So films and videos that make you happy, that make you laugh. In fact, laughter is great because when you grin, right, no matter what you're going through, it changes stuff. It's powerful muscles, and I'm sure there's been studies into this. When you certain grin, certain muscles get pulled, it does certain things to your brain to make you feel good. Okay, so just smiling or grinning is brilliant. So when you're watching films that make you laugh and make you smile, you're doing yourself a massive favor. If you're listening to music that you like, you just grin. Some reggae when the sun's out, why not, dude? Just smile. It will absolutely change your mood. And then you'll think afterwards, you know what? You wouldn't even be thinking about, oh my God, I wonder what the latest thing's going on with this 3II Atlas, whatever it is. Or, oh my God, I wonder if Americans opened again and there's going to be any riots. You're not even going to start to think of any of that stuff. And guess what? Because you've got no control over it, whatever happens, happens anyway. You're wasting your freaking time pouring your heart into all that shit, and you can't do jack about it. All you can do is look after yourself and your loved ones. That's it. That should be your priority. This is my opinion, of course. Everyone's got the right to their own. It's just what I feel is right, you know. So, like I said, stand-up comedian as well. So watching some of those recently, I'm absolutely laughing my ass off. There's this channel on YouTube. I think they call themselves The Rock. These two lads, and I think they're out in New Zealand. They're hilarious. Oh, I love those guys. They always cheer me up. They always cheer me up. So, like I say, be focused on how you feel. So whatever you look at, now, does it make you angry? I'm not joking. When you're doom scrolling, yeah, how many people feel angry because they're being shown all kinds of stuff that winds you up? Maybe it's Keir Starmer lying his bollocks off. Maybe it's these frigging migrant gangs doing whatever they're doing. It's going to piss you off. Okay, so you got to understand all the time you're looking at that stuff, bearing in mind there's nothing you can do about it. You're allowing yourself to get angry, to get pissed off, to put yourself in a negative vibe, baby. Okay, you're allowing that. No one has got a gun to your head saying, keep scrolling, don't stop. No one is doing that. You can put that phone down anytime you like. You can do it. You know you can. Okay. Now, I've come up with this term. I don't believe I've heard it anywhere else. I could be wrong. It's just what I've come up with. I call it karma credits. Okay, so you can accrue karma credits. Okay, so if you don't know what I mean, if you do good, good comes back to you. If you do bad, bad comes back to you. It's true, whether you believe it or not. This is my experience, and I believe it to be true. You can believe what you want, but I think it's true. Okay, now don't look upon this term karma credits when you action the action which you are going to take to help someone. Okay, so don't do it thinking I'm only doing this because I'm getting karma credits, and it's going to be good for me. If you think like that, it's not going to work. When you help someone, and I can give you some examples. So you're in Aldi or Lidl or Tesco's if you can afford it. If you go in there and you're at the checkout, and God forbid, if you're one of these people who use the self checkout, you're probably watching the wrong video. But that's just my opinion. Most of you, I hope, use the actual checkout, not the self checkout, because the more people that use the self checkout, one day there won't be any proper checkouts left. So we can all make a vote. We've all got our power to do that. I haven't used the self checkout. I just haven't. I would rather queue for 20 minutes in one till than use that monitoring, act like a freaking slave sheep bullshit. I will not do it. And I hope to God you don't either. If you do, now's the time to stop. Please don't ever do it again, because you're helping this digital surveillance system into actually existing. The more people that do it, the faster it's going to be. If you don't want to see it, don't take part in it. Simple. Go on a normal till and use cash if you can. It's that simple. We've all got a power to decide what we do. So as an example, so you're at the checkout, right? And there's a person that you've noticed come up behind you or something, and they've got like, I don't know, a pint of milk and a loaf of bread. And you've got like, I don't know, 10 baskets full of stuff up there. Let them go in front. It's happened to me, and I'll tell you what, it's amazing. Well, I'll join the queue, and I've only got like a pint of milk or whatever. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I've got to wait 10 minutes now. You know, the person in front said, no, go on. Are you sure? Yeah. Brilliant. So I know that feeling when you're in a bit of a hurry. Time is precious, I suppose, when you think about it. And someone does that, because at the end of the day, serving someone with just a pint of milk is going to take 20 seconds. Okay. Standing behind a till for like 70 items, it's going to take 10 minutes. So it all makes sense to me. Let the person go in front of you. And do it because you want to help them. Don't do it because you want to get some karma credits. You know what I'm saying? Another example, you're driving along in a car, and you know, on the other side, so you're driving this way, you've got traffic coming this way. It's all stopped because a car wants to go in front of you, and all of the cars in front of you aren't stopping to let the car through. Now, I don't know why, but most of the people I see in Wales don't do that. I think it's so freaking out of order and rude. It boils my piss. When I'm in England, I see it all the time. I'm driving along, people stop, and the car comes along, goes across, and all the traffic can flow. In Wales, I don't know what it is. Whether they're blind, they freaking haven't got time because they're so busy. I don't know what it is, but I don't see it much in Wales at all. But I see it a lot in England. And I'm sorry if you're Welsh and you're offended by that, but maybe you'll agree. Maybe you don't. It's just my observation since I've lived here for 4 years. All right. So karma credits, just a few examples of what you can do to help people. A little old granny can't reach up on the top shelf to get, I don't know, the tin of beans in Tesco's or something. And if you guys are tall, I'm around 6 foot, I can just go up there and grab it. There you go, sweetheart. Oh, thank you ever so much, young man. And they're great, just helped her out. Because I think the older people are, the less they want to ask for help. Because I think they're so used to doing things by themselves. Or maybe they don't want anyone to help them. They can do it themselves. They don't. But it's okay to ask for help. It's fine. So, you know, sometimes I'm like, excuse me, young man, can you do that? And get it for them, and I'll just do it. Or sometimes I actually observe, because I'm using situational awareness, which I've talked about, we should all do as preppers. Okay. You're aware of what's going on around you, front and back. Every now and again, just have a look over, look in a mirror or a window so you can see behind you reflections. Okay. You're aware of what's going on, and you see the little old deer trying to go like this, and you help them out. You're doing it just to be kind. It's a good thing to do. It's the right thing to do. And like I said, most humans are good people. We just allow ourselves to be run and ruled by bad, evil, nasty bastard people. So karma credits, okay? All the time you're doing good and you're helping, it comes back. It's awesome. I love it. It's good. Another thing, some people, like I said, if you want to do something to take you away from all of that crap, some people do meditation. I've done a test. I haven't been diagnosed yet, but I think I've got ADHD and I can't meditate. I've tried it all. You know, if you've got it as well, you've got like your brain's going so fast, you're constantly working out calculations and you're lying there in bed trying to get to sleep and your brain is just not stopping. It's going on and on and on and on. There you get the phone. Oh my God, I've been here for an hour and I still can't get to sleep. Don't go on your phone and start scrolling, you make it worse. But a little thing which has helped me, because sometimes, not all the time, I really struggle to get off to sleep. Brain just won't switch off. Okay. And I've already done my unwinding bit before bed, like we should. Another good thing is on your phone. I don't know what app it's called. I think it's called Twilight, and I think I've showed you it before. It's actually on the mode now. So you get Twilight, and you can adjust your screen settings, where it turns off all of your blue light filter. It's free. There's no ads on it, and it's called Twilight. You get that on your Google Play Store. God forbid if you're one of those people that's got an iPhone. I don't know. I can't help you. If you've got an iPhone, you're on your own. Screw that. I chose Android because you get everything for free. If you go Apple, iPhone, you got to freaking pay for everything. No, I don't think so. Anyway, I digress. So meditation's hard for some people, maybe not for others. So what I found that helped me is finding a podcast to listen to, but try and make it something light. Don't make it something dark and scary, because don't forget, you're feeding your mind and your imagination just at that critical point when you go off to sleep. And usually what you expose yourself to before sleep is going to have an effect whilst you're asleep subconsciously. Okay, try and see the mind as an iceberg. Okay, so the tip of the iceberg, the stuff that you can see above the water, that's your conscious awakened state. When you're asleep, and all of the subconscious stuff that's going on, which you don't know, is that freaking iceberg under the water. It's insane. So it's really important what you feed your mind before you sleep. So what I do, I'm not telling you to do this, I'm saying this is what I do. It really helps me, is I go on Brave, the browser. Okay, I don't use Chrome on my phone at all. Go on Brave, right? Go on, just type in YouTube, go into YouTube on Brave on your browser, and find the podcast that you want to listen to, right? And get the volume right, play it, turn the screen off. It still plays. You can't do it on the YouTube app. You turn that screen off, it turns the YouTube off. It's prick stupid, all right? So go on Brave, watch YouTube on Brave, find the podcast, get the volume right, turn the screen off. And the weird thing that I've been experiencing on Brave, most things I listen to have no adverts. If they do, it's probably one or two. If I go on the YouTube app, there's adverts all over it. So you can lay down there in a dark room, get the temperature right, open the window if you need to for that air and the oxygen. It's very good to help you sleep, and listen to a podcast. Okay, I do it till I get to the point where I'm so tired, I just literally just turn the phone off and I just go to sleep. Another thing that's been helping me as well, and some of you guys from Southern England would know this, is who remembers Jack Hargreaves, Out of Town? Do you remember that guy? Let me know in the comment section or in the live chat. Do you remember Jack Hargreaves, the old country guy with a pipe? Mark Howe. Yeah, he was on Howe with Fred Dinage. I met Fred Dinage a few times. It's good. Oh, I'm really glad to see that some of you guys who know what I'm talking about. I know we got some American friends, they probably wouldn't know, but Jack Hargreaves, search him out on YouTube. There's a guy, is a filmmaker, and I think he's got like 20 or 30 Jack Hargreaves videos, and they're about 20 to 30 minutes long. It's perfect. And I can just listen to that with the phone off in a dark room, laying down, all snuggled up in bed, trying to unwind and relax. And I'm listening to his voice and I'm getting sleepier and sleep. If you're American, Bob Ross, there you go. Someone who's got that calming voice. Listen to Bob Ross. You don't have to watch him on the screen. Just listen. Let your imagination work. Okay. I would guess that back in the days before TV or television was invented, most people had what's called the wireless, which is a radio. Okay. So picture the scene. If there's any elders in the house listening, you know what I'm talking about right now. You'll be in the front room. There'll be a candle on. There'll be 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever members of the family in that front room listening to a broadcast or a program on the radio, whether it's the Archers or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. The point is they're listening in quite a dark room and they're letting their imagination unfold. And to me, that's such a beautiful, powerful thing, because our imagination is being shot to shit with this. How many people have got books but don't read them because they'd rather watch a video on the phone? I do sometimes. And sometimes I think, you know what? I think I need to read a book. And if you haven't read a book for a long time, just try it. It would blow your mind how good it is to be in contact with your own imagination again. It really will do you a world of good, people. Trust me, try it and you'll see what I mean. Even if it's just a short story of 10 pages, okay? Try it. Because what will happen is your imagination would fire and your creative, your right side of the brain, will activate and you will be more powerful than you are if you're doing left brain, just following orders and reacting all the time, okay? It's all about balancing, and I think there's been so much left brain stuff that's being poured on us. It's doing us in. So we need to balance it out by being more creative, being more imaginative. And, you know, if you're an imaginative person, you know, you can do poetry, you can do drawings, paintings, you can create things, you can build things with wood, clay, whatever it is, okay? Because like my partner says, my partner's an artist. And if you don't know who my partner is, her link to her YouTube channel is below this one, okay? And she's a real artist. She probably won't like me saying this, but I'm going to say it. She has got a BA in fine art studied at Oxford University. Yeah, she is a genuine, very, very talented artist. And her YouTube channel is below this. And you'll see it, my partner YouTube channel. You click on that, give her a subscribe, like some of her shorts. She does posts every day and shorts every day. So that would really help Rachel. Pilgrim J, she's a saint. Yeah, she is. I love her a bit. She's absolutely amazing. So using your creative prowess will absolutely help you through this negative soup that we are being dunked into, if that makes any sense. So I hope these little hints and tips and little thoughts have helped some of you guys, because I can feel it. I know you're just like me, probably. I can feel all of the shit out there. It's bad. All right. Are we going to be, you know, killed by aliens, or are we going to be walking around in a digital? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Things will work out. Like I said, if you do your bit and you make people aware, you're doing your bit, you're helping, you're doing a good thing. You're doing God's work, if that's what you like to think. All right. You're doing the right thing. But listen, please remember that you're human and you need to have a rest from it as well. Okay. Please don't do it all of the time and not doing something for yourself that makes you feel good. Like I said earlier, watch a funny film, listen to some cool music that makes you smile. Okay. Read a book, whatever makes you happy. Meditate, go for a walk, go for a swim, anything that doesn't involve looking at social media. All right. Don't do it, because you need a break from it. So thank you to everyone who's come along. Thank you to people who have been supporting me as well behind the scenes. I really appreciate it. There is links below the video. That really, really helped his channel. You guys as well, I'm just going through the chat now, are awesome. Mark was saying, laugh while you dance. Yeah, I'm not joking, mate. I'm not joking. When I'm tidying up the house or washing up or something, I put some cool tunes on. For me, it's like some of the old rave stuff from like 1990. I love it. It's wicked. That's just my thing. And sometimes when I want to chill out, I'll put Classic FM on the radio and I just listen to all my classical music. I love classical music. Art Bell, Lucy. Oh, you're talking about Coast to Coast. Yeah, I love Coast to Coast. Been watching a fair bit of that lately. I was quite intrigued in the 411 missing people thing that he done. That was nuts. Wow. Insane. Benjamin Manning Music. Love Jack as a kid. His old country ways. Yeah, me too, man. Jack Hargreaves. If you want a break from all of the crap, just sit there and binge watch loads of it on YouTube. It's all for free. You'll probably find at least 4 hours of Jack Hargreaves in 20, 30-minute bits all over the place. Just keep looking. And yeah, you might learn something too. Fantastic. So I'm glad it's all helping people. Don't forget, if you can, hit the thumbs up before you go. It really helps push this out there. If you aren't subscribed and you want to hear or watch more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything. Hit the notification bell, because if you don't, you're not going to get the heads up on getting into the live streams where you can immerse yourself within this brilliant community that we've all put together. It's awesome. You guys rock. Seriously do. And share it. That helps as well. Apparently, people these days share lots of videos like this on WhatsApp. I don't know how true that is. Do you share things on WhatsApp? If you do, crack on. WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever it is you got to do. If you share it, it really helps. So that's it for me. What's it, 20 to 9? I'm going to go and chill out myself now. Because like I say, it's all well and good me telling you guys, what good am I if I don't do it myself? So do yourself a big fat favour. Don't doom scroll anymore tonight. Give yourself a night off and have a relax. Maybe you'll feel better having a good night's sleep for once. All right? You guys take care. Thanks for watching and stay funky.